Jim Carrey stars in the comedy Liar Liar tonight, 8:40.
Coronation Street is sponsored by Cadbury's Roses.
There we are, Look, why don't you let me make you a nice bit of toast?
Because I'm not hungry.
You want me to open up for you?
I've not got some terrible disease. I can still function.
Look, nobody expects you to go behind that bar. We can manage.
And what am I supposed to do? Sit here and mourn for me dear son?
Look, I know there's nothing that anybody can say that'll comfort you, love, but the pain will ease in time.
You reckon?
Well, at least let us help you, Natalie.
Why? Because that'll make you feel better?
No, because it'll give you some breathing space.
Oh, and that's just what I need, isn't it? Time to sit and reflect on what a god-awful mess I've made of everything.
Oh, don't talk so daft. You can't be held responsible for Tony's death.
But what about his life, Betty? The man he grew up to be? I'm certainly responsible for that, aren't I?
Morning, ladies. Have you been in yet?
You must be joking. Come on, Pat, I've got a business to run.
Shall we view the carnage together, then?
No, you said you'd catch them humanely, not kill them.
Did I? Live entrapment does come a little bit more expensive. I thought I explained that.
Listen, I don't care if they are flat on their backs, stiff with their little legs in the air. Just get in there and get them out. We'll be in the cafe. There.
Don't you ladies worry. It'll be sorted out in a twinkling.
Gary.
All right.
Can you give mine the once over if you get a chance?
Yeah, no problem, mate. Oh, have you heard about Tony Horrocks?
Yeah.
I was thinking about going and seeing Natalie later on.
And say what?
I don't know.
Mr. Mallet?
Yeah, that's me.
D.I. Reynolds. Can I have a quick word, please, sir?
Don't let them beat a confession out of you.
Don't worry, I won't.
Clearly you know something of the nature of our inquiries.
Yeah, you've dug Tony Horrocks' body up on Victoria Street.
I know from our inquiries that he was responsible for the death of your mother-in-law.
That was a road accident, years ago.
Reckless driving. Some people still see that as murder.
Well, I don't, if that's what you're getting at.
I'm not getting at anything, Mr. Mallet. Just trying to form a picture of how the deceased was regarded locally.
He was regarded as a complete toe rag by them of us that knew him best. Yeah, he killed my mother-in-law, and just recently I lost my wife too. And if somebody's caught up with Tony Horrocks, he probably deserved it. But it wasn't me. And I'd like to get on now, if that's all right with you.
You going bingo tonight?
No, I'm too tired.
Oh, do you know, I don't know what's up with you. Ever since you had that big win, you've been dead miserable. No, if it were me, I'd be celebrating.
That's why you're always broke, Janice. No idea about financial management.
Aha! Hark at her. Businesswoman of the year.
It does you no harm to improve yourself, acquire new skills.
It's your bedroom skills that interest Baldwin. You do well not to forget that.
You've no imagination, you lot. Everything always comes down to the same thing.
Yeah, well, it will, where men are involved. Have you naught better to do, Linda?
Hiya, is Mike about? He's in the office.
Oh, hi, sir. Got a much bigger box for you this week, mainly because our new machinist is all fingers and thumbs.
I don't think she's had much experience. Well, your loss is my gain. Usual price?
What, when there's twice as many pairs than usual?
Oh, well, there's still rejects. I've got to sort through them, and I don't know how many I'm going to be able to sell.
Oh, go on then. I'm hardly covering my costs here.
Cheers, Mike. See ya.
Yeah. Well, go on then. What am I paying you for? If you've got nothing better to do, get back on one of those machines.
$10.
10?
Aye. All humanely trapped, which at a £5 house Comes to 50 quid.
Oh, you're having me on. You never caught 10 mice in this salon.
Check 'em yourself if you like, Mrs. Roberts.
No, thank you.
Just pay him, Audrey.
Maxine, I am not giving him 50 quid. There was one mouse in this salon, not 10.
Very prolific breeders, mice. Oh, they're everywhere before you know it. It's a good job you called me in when you did.
I wasn't born yesterday, you know, Pat. You're not conning me out of 50 quid.
Suit yourself.
What's he doing?
Well, they're yours by rights. You can have them back.
Oh, no, Pat, don't let them out. No,
All right.
no, Pat, no, won't let them out.
Sorry, I'm sorry. You leave me. Come on, now catch him. My foot. It's on my foot.
Ah, all right, mate.
Yeah?
Well, what's wrong with you? I thought you had your escape all planned.
Sorry?
No more stock taking, no more shelf stacking. According to Uncle Sanjay, you're going into the taxi business.
Oh, you lot gossip like old women, don't you?
Yeah, well, if my star employee's just about to leave me, I'm bound to take an interest, right?
Yeah, well, I'm not. So you've got now to worry about.
Uncle Sanjay thought you were pretty sold on the idea.
Maybe it was.
Yeah.
But then I realised setting up your own business takes money.
Right, so why didn't you come to me?
Well, that's a laugh, Dev. I was set to inherit all these shops from Dad before you came along.
Oh, come on, we've done all this, okay? The family was in trouble, we needed to pull together.
Now you sound like Nita. Family. Oh, yeah, and what's the family ever done for me? I'm your skivvy and I've got half a share in a house my sister won't let me sell.
So you were going to raise the capital for the business by selling your share in the house?
And what if I was?
No, it's a good idea. Yeah, and I admire you for trying to be independent.
Yeah, well, bad chance, because Nita won't budge.
Yeah, but you know, Vic, you really have a talent for rubbing your sister up the wrong way.
Yeah, so why does she want to live with me?
Well, listen, why don't you let me have a word? See if I can bypass a sibling rivalry. What do you think? Appeal to her better instincts.
Oh, yeah, if she's got any.
Why don't you just pay him, Audrey?
50 quid? Maxine, there were never 10 mice in the salon.
Well, there are now.
I don't really understand how he turned out so badly, you know. He seemed happy enough as a lad, and I think Natalie did her best for him.
I'm sure she did. But sometimes that's not enough.
Wish I could convince her of that.
You think as a parent that you're in control, but you're not. Sooner or later, the outside world's going to get stuck into your kid, and you can't protect them, or reason with them, or stop them. And the more you try to do what you think's best for them, the more likely they are to despise you for it.
Is that what happened with your son?
Partly. But I haven't had to bury my son, and I find it hard to imagine how that'd feel.
Debs, I thought you were supposed to be sick.
Oh, I'm sorry, Audrey. I was going to pop in this morning and explain.
Oh, dear, what's happened? Somebody died.
The police have dug up a body in Victoria Street, haven't you heard?
Oh, not all that nonsense about Fred's grandfather, for heaven's sake.
It's been identified as Natalie's son.
Oh,
Tony's dead?
Mike, I've been thinking.
Ooh, that sounds ominous. Is it going to cost me any money?
Actually, I think it might make you some.
Oh, then I'm all ears.
Why do we give all our seconds to Sally Webster?
I don't give them to her. I get the cost of the material back and some of the labour. Better than throwing them in the bin.
But she gets all the profit.
Why not? She's selling them.
Then why don't we sell them ourselves?
Oh, you want to be a market trader now, do you? You fed up with your new job?
I'll do a cost-benefit analysis, if you like. Half a day's wages for a couple of the girls against a potential profit of all our reject stock if we sell it directly ourselves.
Oh, Sally's going to love you.
It's not personal, Mike. It's business.
Oh, yeah? I came round to offer me condolences.
I thought after what happened to Judy's mum, you'd be glad to see him dead.
Well, to be honest with you, I wouldn't have minded giving him a slap, but I wouldn't have wished this.
I don't think anybody would have wished this, Gary, except the scum that killed him.
Do you mind if I sit with you for a bit?
On a brandy?
No, thanks.
Did you drink a lot when Judy died?
A tad. It don't help.
Probably not. Suppose you're going to tell me now that you know how I feel.
No, I don't know exactly how you feel, but I might know a little bit about what you're going through.
Do you? I wished him dead, Gary. Me own son. Can you imagine that, eh? Little Billy grows up, and one day you look at him and you want to kill him.
No, I can't imagine that.
I think it'd make it easier, but it doesn't.
Just wondered if anyone fancied a cup of tea.
I think I'm way beyond tea, Vinny, but you could get me another bottle of brandy.
Do you think that's... Right, well, I'll fetch you one then.
Everyone's tiptoeing round me. I must be in worse shape than even I thought.
Terrible, terrible business. Didn't Maxine used to go out with him?
I believe she did at one time.
What Natalie must be going through. Still, it puts everything else in perspective.
It does.
Right, ladies. The coast is now clear. The salon is now a rodent-free zone. You have my personal guarantee.
Yeah, OK. What do I owe you?
Well, by rights, it should be the full 100, since I caught him twice. But I'm not a greedy man, so I'll settle for the 50.
Up. Come on, sweetheart, come on.
Yes.
Looking for Mrs. Platt?
You found her. What can I do for you?
Mr. Ferns. My son, Neil, is, I believe, acquainted with your daughter.
Yes.
I wonder if I might have a word. Lad's not been himself lately. His mother's been worried, so I tackled him.
Look, I don't quite see...
I gather your daughter's pregnant, Mrs. Platt. Our Neil reckons it's his. He's only 13 and not a confident boy, but that's what he says.
I see.
So what do you say?
Well, like you say, he's 13.
If his fathered a child, I think we need to talk about it. The truth, Mrs. Platt. That's all I'm after.
Coronation Street is sponsored by Cadbury's Roses.
Hello.
I saw that mouse trick before. Nice.
All right.
Where'd you get him?
What do you mean?
Oh, come on. My dad was pulling that rat catcher trick years ago. I didn't think people still fell for it.
Mrs. Roberts had some mice in her salon. I just caught them for her, that's all.
What, and you put a few in of your own? What was you charging, a fiver a mouse? She could have got council to do it easy.
Council put down poison. What I provide is a more humane service in touch with sensibilities.
Oh, so that's your angle, is it? Gotcha.
Listen, Tyrone, isn't it? You won't mention this to anybody, will you?
Well, that all depends, doesn't it?
Full English over here for my mate when you've a minute, pal.
And a tea as well, please.
Thanks. So how far gone is she?
About 6 months.
She's having the baby then, it's too late.
Yes.
So is it my lads?
This is a very difficult situation, Mr. Ferns.
Either it was our Neil or it wasn't. You must know your own daughter, the type of girl she is.
Well, she's not the type to sleep around, if that's what you're implying.
I'm implying nothing. I just want a straight answer. I've got 2 daughters myself. If one of them fell pregnant at 13, I'd want to know what happened. I could tell you.
It happened because 2 daft kids didn't know what they were doing. I see no point in recriminations.
Our Neil's telling the truth then. It was him.
Yes.
At least we know where we stand.
But like you say, they're both very young, and
Oh, don't you worry, Mrs. Platt. I'm not a man to shirk my responsibilities. If your daughter is having my son's child, I intend to do the right thing and stand by them. My wife and I will play our part.
Right, Gwen, mine's the vodka. What are you having, love?
Same. What are you telling me for? It's not my round.
You haven't spent all that money already, have you?
No, but there's other things I might like to spend my money on.
Yeah, well, come on, get your money out.
Aye, if I had a big win, I'd be pleased to buy a few rounds for me mates.
Hey, up, girls. If you're buying, mine's a pint.
Yeah, well, I'm not buying. You can buy your own flaming drinks, because I'm sick of being taken advantage of.
What's rattled her cage?
Oh, don't ask me.
Hello, what are you doing here?
I want to know what you think you're playing at.
Me? What are you on about?
The thing is, Mr. Ferns, we never anticipated any involvement from the baby's father.
Why not? Lad's got to learn to take responsibility for his actions. And if he's too young, then it's down to me to do it for him.
Well, it's not Romeo and Juliet. They hardly know each other.
So what are you saying?
Sarah Lou is having this baby. There's no way round that. You have a choice. Do you seriously want your son saddled with fatherhood at his age?
Of course I don't.
Then why involve him? We're prepared to take full responsibility for this child. It'll grow up as part of our family. It'll want for nothing. My husband has a very good job. We'll manage very well.
I'm sure you will. But I do want to be fair. Why should you carry the can?
You said you wanted to do the right thing. Well, what is the right thing? Give your son his childhood back, Mr. Ferns. He's a boy who made a mistake.
I can see you're a very decent woman, Mrs. Platt, and I appreciate your attitude.
Well, I think it's best all round, don't you?
If you're sure.
I'm sure.
What will your husband say? I don't want anyone thinking I tried to duck out of it.
You're doing what you think is right for your child, and we're doing what's right for ours. It's nobody else's business.
You're right. Well, thanks for the coffee.
My pleasure.
Look, Mrs. Platt, if you ever change your mind, this is where you can reach us.
Thank you.
Bye.
Look, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, why would I leave a note on your windscreen?
How should I know? Just said to meet in Freshka's car park and it was urgent.
Have you still got it?
Yeah.
Let me see it. That's nothing like my handwriting.
I don't know what your writing's like. I sat in that car park for over half an hour. Then I asked someone in the shop. They said you'd gone and I'd probably find you in here.
Wait a minute.
What?
I thought so. It's the same handwriting.
The same as what?
Somebody put that on my windscreen a couple of days ago. It looks like someone's trying to play a practical joke on us. What's the matter?
I'm sorry I bothered you. I've got to go.
Hang on a minute.
Let go of me.
Look, Colette, I'm sorry. Just sit down and tell me what the matter is.
I had a visitor today. Neil Fern's dad.
What did he want?
To do the right thing.
Oh, you don't mean Neil's been gobbing off to his dad, do you?
I don't think it was quite like that.
So what does this mean then? More people with questions? I am sick to death of having to explain myself.
You don't have to talk to anybody you don't want to.
Yeah, but Mum, it's nothing to do with anyone else. It's my baby.
I know.
Can you imagine it? Being stuck with Neil Ferns for the rest of my life.
Can you imagine Neil Fern's mum and dad sticking their oar in when the baby's born?
Oh, no way. I've got enough interfering relatives of my own.
Well, I think I managed to persuade Mr. Ferns that it might be better if Neil didn't get involved at all. Is that all right?
Yeah.
It seems to me that some old boyfriend of yours has got the wrong idea about us.
How'd you make that out?
Well, I've been warned off. And you've been set up to sit in a car park for a couple of hours so you'll get annoyed at me. Any idea who it is?
I don't know.
How many hearts have you broken recently?
None. Look, there's obviously been a misunderstanding, but this is the end of it, right?
Yeah, all right, yeah. But you will let me know if anything else happens, won't you?
Yeah. Bye.
Yeah.
Have the police said any more to you?
No, Natalie reckons it was the blokes that killed Des, but they're all in jail.
Well, these drug-dealing gangs, they make a lot of money, so they've got a very long reach.
I just feel so useless, you know. I mean, I'm a sister and I can't seem to find anything to say to her.
Look, when the police have done the second post-mortem, she'll be able to bury him. That might help.
Hey, you sure you want to be out here?
You think I'm drunk, do you? You think I'm going to make an exhibition out of myself?
No.
You want me to hide away in me little back room while you lot all stand around the bar having a good old gossip about
This
me?
ain't gonna make you feel any better.
Oh, what the hell do you know?
Now, nobody's gossiping about you. They're very concerned. Just want to express their sympathy.
Sympathy? For me, from this lot? Well, that will be a first.
Mrs. Loveday?
Oh, it's you. They have you working all hours, don't they? Fancy a cup of tea?
No, thanks. I don't suppose you got anything for me.
Well, to be honest with you, love, I am a bit short this week.
Just about come to the end of the road, you know that, don't you, love?
Yeah. Look, I'll pay you next week, I promise.
I won't be here. My firm's selling on your debt.
And what does that mean?
We can't collect it, we sell it on to someone who reckons they can.
Look, you'll get your money all right. Just give me a couple more weeks.
It's out of my hands now, love. You take a tip from me. This other mob don't mess them about. They mean business. They'll collect their money one way or another.
I read my horoscopes now and then, but it's a lot of rubbish, really, isn't it?
The moon affects the tides, so why can't the planets affect our destiny? I mean, just because we don't know anything about it now doesn't mean that one day it won't be scientifically proven.
So it's all in the stars, is it, Gina?
Oh, well, there's free will as well, otherwise there's no point.
Well, I don't seem to have had much control over my fate lately.
It might seem like that.
It's all rubbish, Gina. Somebody dreams it up to sell papers and magazines to folk who are too daft to know any better.
She's determined to pick a fight with somebody before the night's out.
Yeah. Don't know what we're gonna do about it, though.
I don't.
The cheek of the man. I mean, fancy coming into the cafe like that and announcing himself.
Well, I think he was quite genuine, Mum.
Listen, take a tip from me. When that little baby's born, just put the mother's name on the birth certificate. There will be endless trouble otherwise.
And you'd know all about that?
Now, what's that supposed to mean?
Oh, forget it.
Gail, when you were born, lovey, it was a totally different situation.
Was it? You didn't want my father's name on the birth certificate either, did you?
Gail, that were different. You don't want this Mr. Ferns interfering. You said so yourself. The little baby will have you, Martin and Sarah Lou. That's the main thing.
Hi, Sally.
Oh, hey, Rita.
Yes, Rita, what can I get you?
Vodka and tonic, please, Natalie. And I'd just like to say how sorry I am for your loss.
Why are you sorry? He got what was coming to him, didn't he? I mean, that's what most folk think round here, isn't it?
No, I don't think they do. I certainly do.
Oh, spare me your hypocrisy, Rita. Tony was the scum of the earth as far as you're concerned. That's what you all think, except that nobody's got the guts to say it to me face.
Come on, love, you've had a bit...
Oh, don't you dare touch me. You're all a bunch of two-faced hypocrites, the lot of you. And I don't want your comfort or your sympathy.
Jim Carrey stars in the comedy Liar Liar tonight, 8:40. Coming up next, Chris Tarrant gets his checkbook out for Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Thank you. Coronation Street is sponsored by Cadbury's Roses.